Oh, you can't make it up. All right, this week we've heard from the mayor of Green Bay. We've had a Packers beat writer on. We also had a Green Bay radio host who's actually planning a Brett Favre funeral for this weekend. Now let's hear from someone who actually played alongside Brett, won a Super Bowl with him in Green Bay. Our next guest shared a backfield with Favre from 1995 to 2006. Former Green Bay fullback William Henderson joins us now in studio. William, thanks for being here. How will you watch the game Sunday?
I'm fortunate. I actually get to be in Lambeau for the game.
Wow.
I'm going to fly up. There's a cast of former players that are showing up. Adam Timmerman, Mike Flanagan. I know I'll be in the same box with them. I didn't get it. There were too many requests for credentials to be sidelined. So I will just go and enjoy the game as the other fans will, and hopefully see Aaron Rodgers and the Packers go forth and be victorious.
How will you feel when you watch for the first time Brett Favre run onto that field in purple?
As much of a friend as I am, I would consider myself to Brett, teammate for life when he was with the Packers. I'm going to boo like I hope the rest of the fans
You'll
do.
boo Brett, really?
I'm going to boo him. I like to believe, and I plead with everyone who considers themselves Packer fans to enjoy being a Packer fan and enjoy the rivalry. And I want to make sure that I'm a Packer fan and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to be part of that 12th man, that one that doesn't allow the Vikings to have any offensive edge and to be as disruptive as I can be. Yeah. And I'm going to boo.
After the final second ticks off?
Football is a game of gentlemen. You leave it on the field. Once the game is done, once the game is concluded, then I can go on and I can say, hey, man, either you had a great performance or you didn't. But did you overcome the adversity of us being, again, as disruptive as we could possibly be, and by making as much noise and creating as much havoc for the Minnesota Vikings as we possibly can?
For you, of all teams that he could have played for, it's the Vikings. So for you, when you first heard that this was a done deal, and I know there were a lot of false alarms, but when you heard it was official, your immediate thoughts?
My immediate thought was that I'm happy for my former teammate that he wanted to continue to play the game. And unfortunately for him, but fortunately for him, there was a team still running the offense that made him a household name. Minnesota's offense coordinator Darrell Bevell, Brad Childress understands the nuances of Brett's game. They're bringing him in to highlight his abilities, to make sure he looks as good as he can be, and to give him the weapons to make him effective. I mean, of course, AP is one of those weapons that everybody talks about, Adrian Peterson. But his receiving core, he has a valued bunch of receivers. He's got the players that going to make him successful. I'm just hoping that he doesn't have that success on Sunday.
Brett came so close in his last game as a Packer to getting this team back to a Super Bowl. He wanted to play again. Even though he was non-committal, he was there and ready to try it again. And the Packers said, no, we're good. This is going to be tough for you, William. But did the Packers do him wrong in any way?
Did the Packers do him wrong? I like to believe that if I were slated for a position in the organization past the point of being a player, that I could go up and be upper management and work in the managerial side, the staffing and talent searching. And in efforts to be a general manager, you have to think more than 3 years down the line. You got to think where this team will be. More than that immediate game need, more than that immediate year need.
But you're close. I mean, you're really close right now.
You're very close. You've got unbelievable. But it was a contract year for a young quarterback that you would hope that 3 years down the line would be your solid man. They would be your go-to general on the field. You have to make the decision at that particular point. Do I go ahead and play this young man and give him a chance to showcase his skills, his talent?
Or make another run.
Make another run with the player that you hope, that you're going to continue to hope will come back to you years after. Yeah. And that leaves you in alert.
So it sounds like you stand by that decision. You think that they made the right choice.
I believe that they made a choice. I don't say it was the right choice. I believe Brett had another year in him. I support
a tough choice.
No matter how you look at it. It was a tough choice to be made. I'm not playing the fence here. I believe Ted Thompson is doing the cowboy thing he has done in the past. He made a decision and he's sticking with it. And I believe he's willing to live or die by his decision. So if a GM is willing to live and die by his decision, then you got to believe that you can give that GM the support that he needs to go off and prosper, hopefully. Now, again, he made one, and he made a solid one, because Aaron Rodgers is proving that he is going to be a force to be reckoned with throughout his tenure in the NFL.
He's certainly played up to the expectations, I think, of Ted Thompson and really all the Packers fans. He's done his part. Now it's time to see if everybody else can come on board.
The cast needs to come back and give him support.
One of the fascinating things about this football game will be how Brett is received by the fans. We've asked everybody that we've had on from Green Bay, and it seems to be a consensus that it's going to be a 50-50 deal. Where do you stand on that? Do you think that he'll be equally cheered as booed, or will one outweigh the other?
Because of the volatility of this game, because of the division rivalry, he will be cheered by some. I don't think it's going to be a 50-50, more like an 80-20. There are a ton 80-20 booing Brett, opposed to Brett coming back. I don't believe that he has the fan support for coming back to this game that he's going to be used to. I think it's going to be a difficult ride as he makes that trip from Appleton, Wisconsin to Green Bay, Wisconsin. I think it's going to be difficult for him to make the trip. I think he'll get mooned a few times. I believe there will be quite a bit of a show of anti-Brett. But again, you will see Minnesota Viking jersey, Brett Favre jerseys in the stadium. We'll see a lot of support for Brett, the player. But again, I don't think the majority of the fans coming to this game are going to welcome Brett in, coming back to their territory, to his formerly home turf, to play well. They will cheer him when he comes back for his retirement as a Packer.
I wanted you to get your quick thoughts on that. Time will heal some of this, won't it?
Time should heal a lot of these woes.
Right.
I think he has played with significant enough passion and definitely the effort that he needs to cement him as one of the all-time greatest Packer players.
Yeah.
But I do believe that he has earned the right to be booed because he's chosen to go to the opposing team.
Now,
and I believe I respect him. I love the game, but I love the game. It's not about Brett Favre. It's not about any other player could return. Ryan Longwell's also returning.
Yeah.
I don't think you should celebrate a returning player to your home field. I believe if he's coming in opposition to your team, then he deserves the right to be booed.
Before we go, about 30 seconds, your favorite all-time Brett Favre memory. And I know that's got to be tough to narrow it down to one because I'm sure you had a lot, and it doesn't have to be football related.
Well, there are many. I like to keep it. The off the field stuff is great. The fact that I could go and break bread with Brett, and we would go to his restaurant after the games, and we would sit amongst all the teammates and families and be able to just walk around and mingle. I mean, he was willing to go out and lend a hand to, if I had a few kids that came in for a different charity or fundraiser, he would go out and meet the people because that's the kind of guy he is. Yeah. He believes in giving back to the team. But my favorite Brett Favre memory would be in the huddle when he would come back and say just the right word at the right time to create the poise. And then when there was a play that I may have done not so well the play before, but he would let me know that he was truly my teammate, and he would say it to me, Will, I got your back. And when he would say that going into the huddle, you knew that you could have a short-term memory. Let that play go and know that he was going to be the man that consistently wanted you to do well and plays in the future. All
right, very good. Enjoy Sunday. I know there's going to be mixed emotions there, and I know you're a Packer at heart, so enjoy the game.
I shall.
William Henderson, former teammate and Super Bowl winner with Brett Favre. All right, still to come. Don't go anywhere. We're doing our Plays of the Week segment, and we have a special judge along with us. Of course, it's Chad Ochocinco. We're going to take a look at some of the top plays from Week 7, also a few bonus plays. Get his thoughts on those. We'll do that on the other side of the break. Stay with us.